Yeah, so Wendell joins us each week throughout the NCAA tournament, presented by our friends at Vulcan Tire and Automotive. Don't let car trouble interfere with your big basketball plans this March. For the best in service, the greater Birmingham area, think only of Vulcan Tire and Automotive. 4 locations in the Birmingham area. Learn more at vulcantireandauto.com. Wendell joins us now on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. It looks like a pretty good pick now, Wendell, going with UConn.
Yes, sir. No doubt.
I mean,
No
they have just been dominant ripping through this tournament. When you looked at them a week ago, and you had already watched them, obviously, what did you see in them that jumped out at you so much?
I think I was looking like kind of just at teams like non-conference schedule. And I seen, they had beat Alabama by, I think, 17 or 15. And they had some great wins, non-conference. And then they lost some conference games. But, it seems like that, showing the tournament they're good. And, I think their closest game in the tournament has been like 16 or 15 points. So, I mean, they pretty much dominating. But, I think they just got a complete team.
So much parity in college basketball. When you look at Saturday's matchups, either San Diego State or Florida Atlantic is going to play for the national championship on Monday night. Is that a little frustrating knowing that Auburn is a team, game in, game out, could, not only compete really, really well with those teams, but could beat those teams like, 7-game series, I would say 4-3 either way.
Yeah, it's pretty frustrating, just looking at any team, in the Final Four and knowing that you had the opportunity to be there. I'm pretty sure the other 64 teams that are in the tournament are frustrated too. But, I think I give congratulations to FAU, my guy KT. He's there, director of operations. So, I'm pulling for them. Hopefully they can make the championship. But, it is a little frustrating just watching the team still playing.
We've got 1,209 people in the transfer portal. I think it's the last number I saw. And we had Namari Burnett on in an NIL deal like you, and he's off to Michigan from Alabama. Where is your roster? Where are you and your roster right now when it comes to the transfer portal at Auburn?
I know a couple guys just entered the portal recently. But, BP is going to do his recruiting. And we'll see where it takes us.
Wendell Green with us, presented by Vulcan Tire and Automotive. Don't let car trouble interfere with big basketball plans. In the Birmingham area, 4 locations, vulcantireandauto.com, the best service in the Birmingham area as it comes to your vehicle. And I know we asked you last week, but that's been a week ago. Have you made your decision yet? Do you know what you are doing for the upcoming season?
Not yet. I think I have an answer for you guys next week, though, but not yet.
Okay, so next week when you join us, you'll know.
Yeah, I'll have an answer for you guys.
Well, that brings up an interesting question, though. You talked about BP recruiting and stuff. Do you look at it that way on who he brings in at your position? Do you look at it on who he surrounds you with? If there's a place for you, talk me through that. What are you looking at in that scenario? Because you mentioned BP out recruiting.
Yeah, not really. That doesn't influence my decision. I came to Auburn with 5 other guys, knowing that I will have to compete for a position and to play the minutes I played the past 2 years. So I know that's just what it is every year, no matter where you're at. So I don't think that doesn't really influence my decision, just where I'm going to be next year. It's mainly just looking at my future and, what's best for me.
Have you had a lot of teams reach out to you and say, hey, look, if you wanted to go in the portal, you got a place with us?
No, actually, I don't think teams can reach out until you're in the portal. So
yeah, I didn't think they could, but I just wondered if they had because it's clearly going on.
Yeah, let me rephrase that. Have you heard from people close to you that other people have reached to them and say, hey, if Wendell wanted to go in the portal, we'd be interested?
No, I haven't heard any of that.
Okay,
I haven't heard any.
So let me rephrase it another way.
Has Hugh Freeze asked you if you want to be quarterback yet?
Hypothetically, if tampering was going on in the transfer portal, would it more likely be done with a player from another team that knows somebody or has some sort of relation with a guy on another team?
Yeah, I think it would be a player trying to recruit another player. I know my friend, he went to EKU and he went to JUCO last year. He's going to Missouri. And, he always texts me like, hey, come to Missouri, stuff like that. But nothing too serious. But it would be from another player would be the main thing.
Would it be shocking if you're at Missouri next year?
Yeah, that would be very shocking.
Okay. No, Tabor's
Just wanted to clear that up for the Auburn fans.
Yes.
Wendell Green Jr. is with us here. So, 1,209 players seems like a lot to me. As a person on the other side of this who's playing the game at this point in time, do you like having that flexibility, you personally, or do you like it that you can bring in a Janai Broom to help you at the team you're at? Do you like being able to go to another team or bring in other parts? As a player, do you like this freedom of movement, or do you wish it was a little bit more restrictive?
I mean, it's both sides to it. I think, just for my position, I've been in the transfer portal, and I think it's great. It can better guys in their situation. And it's good for the players, individually. But, looking at it from like a team perspective, the most successful teams are the teams that stick it through, have guys that's been there 3-4 years and, been through everything, So I think from a team perspective, it hurts a lot. But individually, I'm not going to hate on anybody doing that because it's something I've done. So it's great individually, though.
All right, we are going to talk to you again next week, but let's get it on the record right here. So in the two games, we know you like UConn in one of them. Who do you like in the other game? Who do you like playing for the national championship?
I got to go with FAU.
I mean, what a story, FAU, man. Can you imagine them playing for a national championship, Wendell?
It's crazy. Them playing in the Final Four is crazy, but, I'm proud of, like I said, my guy KT. So I'm riding with them all the way until they play UConn.
And they're going to be good again next year, too. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you and he have talked about roster, but if they can keep their players, they're going to be really good next year. They're going to keep that coach, Dusty May. I mean, that's a team that this is not a one-hit wonder for them if they can keep it together like that.
Not at all, but, with the transfer portal, you never know. So we'll see, though. I hope they can keep it together.
Yeah, let's hope.
Hey, we're about to talk to Jelly Walker. Can I, the UAB guard, and they're playing in the NIT championship. And I just thought, I knew we were about to wrap up with you, but I wanted to ask you quickly. The NIT is never your goal when you start the year. I understand that. But what do the players think of the NIT? I mean, you're a guy that you've got NCAA tournament experience. What do you think of the NIT?
I think it's different depending on the school you at, and how it's viewed. For like a school like UAB, they like, let's just go win a championship. And then, for a school like Auburn, if we were to be in the NIT this year, it would kind of just be a letdown and not a lot of motivation, going into it. So I think it depends on kind of the level or the name of your school, to have like I know the guys at Michigan, they playing in the NIT, they like, oh, this ain't, this not what we signed up for. So it kind of depends on the level and, just how mentally strong you can be to try to win that tournament.
I mean, like North Carolina's players voted against it, and then half their team hit the portal. But, I mean, I think that shows you there a lot of schools are like, hey, we ain't going to do it, man. This is not our goal.
Yeah, especially big schools, that's used to being in the tournament. Like North Carolina, them seeing their name in the NIT, it just doesn't bring that same excitement, to the game as playing in the tournament or even a regular season game. So, it is tough for those type of schools, especially with the fans, on your back and stuff. So I know North Carolina got it the worst way this year. So I know it's kind of unmotivational to just play in the NIT for big schools like that.
All right, Wendell, enjoy the Final Four. We will talk with you about the national championship game and your future next week. So we thank you very much for the time, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, buddy, take care. Wendell Green with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Non-committal about his future. He will tell us, he said, next week what he's up to. He was presented by Vulcan Tire and Automotive. We're focusing on basketball, but don't forget to keep the focus on your car and keeping it in top shape. The ASC certified mechanics at Vulcan Tire and Automotive have the winning service for your family's vehicles. Learn more at VulcanTireandAuto.com.